What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we've got another news reveal for some cards from the next, what is this? This is like the Duelist pack that they're calling in the OCG. This is our Legendary Duelist, essentially, I believe, or that's like our equivalent, at least. But we got some cards revealed for Merrick. That's so hype. I have not read anything. This is going to be a 100% raw review here. I just saw they got released very recently, but let's just get on into it. So first up, we got Slime. Okay. The first important card here is Reactor Slime. This is a level 4 water aqua effect monster. Has 500 attack and 500 defense, so not too crazy in the stats. And its effect reads, you can only use each effect of the first and second effects of this card's name only once per turn, so both 2 hard once per turn effects. During your main phase, you can special summon 2 slime tokens. There'll be Aqua Water level 1 with 500, 500. Also, you cannot normal summon or special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Divine Beast monsters. Second effect, during either player's battle phase, as quick effect, you can tribute this card, choose 1 Metal Reflex Slime in your hand, deck, or graveyard, and if you do, set it to your spell and trap zone, and if you do that, it can be activated this turn. So if you saw before Metal Reflex Slime, or if I believe it's the trap card that summons like a slime token, but it's like a 3,000 wall. It's just a big 3,000 booty, which is kind of nice. And there's a new like fusion too, that's like been revealed that actually like can use that card, that like the token or the trap monster you get as material, which is really cool. So this just kind of helps turbo that out. It's during either player's battle phase as a quick effect, which is pretty good. And it just gets that from anywhere. So it actually makes getting to that fusion way more consistent. I don't remember what the fusion does, but we can take a look at that at the end of this and then see how good it is. But yeah, that's really cool. I really, really dig it. Next up, we've got Guardian Slime, a level 10 water aqua effect monster. 0 attack, 0 defense. Okay. And you can use each of his first, second, and third effects of this card once per turn each. Okay, crazy. Whew, okay. When you take battle damage or effect damage, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, there are ways to deal yourself battle or effect. Well, not battle. Well, I guess battle, you could attack into something. There are ways to just pay life points, and I believe that will count as effect damage, which would be pretty cool. I guess it wouldn't have to be for cost, I think. I don't know on the rulings for that technically. Second effect, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can activate this effect. During this damage calculation only, this card gains defense equal to that opponent's monster's attack. So essentially what this is saying is, if he's in offense mode and your opponent's trying to get over him, they won't be able to. He'll just gain whatever their attack is, and so it'll essentially be impossible for them to get higher than his defense. So he does put up a nice little wall there for the battle phase. And the third effect, if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can add 1 spell or trap that specifically lists the Wind Dragon of Ra in its text from your deck to your hand. Another spicy call right there. So if you can just deal yourself some kind of damage, he can get himself out of the hand, or if you can just discard, just says sent from hand to field to the graveyard, and then you can link him off, get him off the field, however you need to. You do get to search for any Winged Dragon of Ra card, or a card that has that in its text, not in the name, in the text. Interesting card. I mean, the effects don't seem crazy, but I guess until we know like what Winged Dragon of Ra cards we'd be searching, it'll make more sense on how actually useful this will be. But interesting, and I like his design a lot. Look at his design. He's pretty badass looking for a slime card, for sure. All right, then we move to some Winged Dragon of Ra cards, of course. All right, so we have Ancient Chant. This is a normal spell card. You can only activate 1 with this card's name once per turn. First effect says, add 1 Winged Dragon of Ra from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and if you do, you can tribute summon 1 monster during your main phase's turn, in addition to your normal summon or set. Second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard for the rest of this turn. Any Winged Dragon of Ra/Ras you tribute summon has its original attack and effect become equal to the total original attack and defense of the monsters tributed for that summon. Okay. A lot going on. So pretty much the first effect is just a searcher. Just searches Ra from deck or grave. That's pretty good. And then for the rest of the turn, you get an additional tribute summon. also pretty good, especially considering if you just like pair this with Reactor Slime, drawing either of these together, you could just normal summon this, get the 2 tokens, and then if you have this, search Raw, then get the additional tribute for Raw, and then the Raw would also get the bonus stats, but those stats wouldn't be too crazy off this because they'd only be, I believe, 15-15 there, which isn't that crazy, but, you know, fine. But it's consistency. I mean, it's just a search card. It searches you exactly what you're looking for, and this seems to be the Winged Dragon of Raw turbo stuff. You know what I mean? I'm kind of getting some reminiscent vibes of what we just saw for Sacred Beasts, because a lot of the Egyptian gods tend to need to be tribute summoned, so we're kind of seeing support in terms of getting better at searching those cards out, and also getting better just setting up tributes for that without with either getting additional normals or without even using your normal. So that's pretty dang cool. I'm into that card for sure. Next up, we have Millennium Revelation. This is a continuous spell card. You can only use each effect among the first and second effects with this card's name only once per turn. First effect, you can send 1 Divine Beast monster from your hand to the graveyard to add 1 Monster Reborn from your deck or graveyard to your hand. That's insane! You literally can just send any of the God cards, search a Monster Reborn, and then reborn the God cards. One thing I will say is I believe the God cards do have stipulations that say if they weren't normal summoned, they will do something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's something like they destroy themselves in the end phase or whatever it is. I don't remember exactly what it is, but they do have some things that make them a little less good, like maybe longevity wise. You only get to keep them for a turn instead, but still this does put them on the board very easily, which is pretty cool, especially since this is just once per turn. You can just do this. Second effect, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. For the rest of this turn, you can special summon the Winged Dragon of Raw from your graveyard with Monster Reborn effect, ignoring the summoning conditions, but during this turn's end phase, you must send to the graveyard all Winged Dragon of Raws that were special summoned by Monster Reborn. Okay, so that actually puts it even more in perspective. I think Obelisk and Slifer may be able to be special summoned by Monster Reborn, but I believe Raw actually does have the specific text that makes him say like he has to be summoned a specific way. But this says the Monster Reborn just ignores that. So the Monster Reborn you're getting by sending the Raw to the graveyard does make it so you can reborn it, but you are going to lose that Raw in the end phase. But also, this can just activate next turn too. And it's continuous. So you can just do this every turn to just continuously recycle that Monster Reborn. I think it's a cool card. Keep in mind, guys, this is not supposed to be meta in any way, like super impactful that way or anything. It's just supposed to be just like support in terms of it's just being like cool legacy support for like Merrick stuff. So I don't think it's supposed to be any kind of unbeatable like new strategy. It's just supposed to be cool like legacy support. So just keep that in mind. The last card we have here as far as the new stuff goes is One with the Sun God, Continuous Trap. You can only activate the first and second effects of this card's name. Wait, you cannot activate the first and second effects of this card's name in the same chain. So it has 2 effects, but you can only activate 1 per chain. While you control a monster whose original name is the Winged Dragon of Raw, you can activate this card during the turn it was set. Okay, if you can get Raw on the field in 1 turn, this is a trap card that can be activated in 1 turn. During either player's main phase, you can pay life points so that you only have 100 left as cost. Choose 1 special summon the Winged Dragon of Raw you control, and if you do, it gains attack and defense equal to the amount of life points paid. And the second effect, once per turn, you contribute 1 the Winged Dragon of Raw you control to gain life points equal to the attack it had on the field. Another really crazy card. So pretty much what this card is all supposed to do is you're supposed to just use this to buff the Raw to get over anything you need, or just punch for game, either or. And if it doesn't work out, you just tribute the Raw so that you gain the life points back. And so even though you paid all those life points, as long as you never hit 0, you're going right back up to whatever you were before you paid it, because that's how you got the Raw huge, and then you can just trade him back in for life points, and then hopefully live another turn, and then hopefully be able to get him on field again. But still, it's this card's kind of crazy too. I think these cards are really cool. I think there's a lot going on here. I think they're awesome. Like, again, I don't think there's supposed to be any kind of like busted bananas new card, new archetype that storms the meta. It's definitely not that. It's definitely more legacy oriented, and I think it's really cool. I think a lot of players that love Merrick, he is probably the most beloved villain other than Pegasus. And so I think a lot of people will definitely be in. A lot of collectors will definitely be in. This is almost like Toon-esque support, like on that level of like classic Yu-Gi-Oh villain. And so it's cool to have their cards. But yeah, I think it's cool stuff. I think it's cool legacy support. Definitely let me know your thoughts down below. I've never really looked at the Egyptian gods as something to try and make playable, because I never really knew if Konami would even try and touch them. You know, sometimes things are just so sacred. Do you even try to make support for them because they're just so legendary? Just leave them be. Let them just be what they were. Let them be the classic cards that were in the anime, best cards in the anime, but never good in the real game, and just have them be more collector's items. But it seems Konami wants to make them a little more playable. I don't blame them. I think it's a great strategy if you're trying to be a successful company. And I think a lot of players will be into it. So, like I said, let me know your thoughts down below on these new cards. If you are a fan of that kind of stuff, let me know what you think. Thank you. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.